Saturday, May 2nd, 6:33 in the evening. This is Razor Wire, your news show that looks at the week's propaganda, all the narratives that were set up by mainstream media, and feed it to you in little bite-sized nuggets that you can go ahead and say, that doesn't taste right, I hate this. Fitz, it's Saturday night, man. We've been looking forward to this all week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and, man, this doesn't taste right. That line, God, I've heard that a lot of times in my life. And I'll be honest, at first I thought it was me. But it's definitely the women that I dated over the years.
Perfect. So it's that taste buds, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, I literally, dude, this is the highlight of the week. It's a rough week, this past week for all of us. I mean, God, I'm sick of getting on here and talking about all my personal woes. I know we've all been having it rough, and we keep saying it. It's just going to get rougher, but the shenanigans that I don't know, what do we call them? I don't want to do the whole deep state thing. I don't want to say powers that be, but whoever's in charge, the games that they're playing this week have been pretty phenomenal. We had I don't know if I posted this video, and probably I should find it. We had 3 different versions of quote unquote security footage of the correspondence dinner shooting. Three
Right.
different ones. One of them where one of the agents was wearing a hat, and then the other one he's not, and the other 2 he's not. There's one.
So we're talking continuity problems where maybe they went into wardrobe and forgot the right wardrobe when they came back out.
Was it pre-filmed? Is it AI? I mean, one of them's clearly AI because there's a piece of paper that disappears from a guy's hand. I don't know, dude. The tomfoolery, my point is, the tomfoolery is reaching epic levels, and I honestly don't think we've seen anything yet. I think it's only going to get more bizarre, more ridiculous, and we are along for the ride, my friend. Along for the ride. We
absolutely are. But that's why we're here, right? We're going to point that stuff out.
Yep.
We're going to make everybody aware of it. We're going to laugh at it. We're not going to buy into it. And we're just going to sit back and wait for whatever comes the following week. It's not going to go away. You're absolutely right. And there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. It's kind of like life, right? There's going to be a quiet time where we don't have all the things. Sometimes we're lulled into a false sense of security, and everything is nice, and everybody's out and just enjoying themselves, and all of a sudden a haymaker comes and messes everything.
Bam. Yep.
And that's okay. That's okay. That's why we're here. This is a public service that we do. It is. It truly is.
I love how you always spin us to be very altruistic. I really appreciate that about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are the knights in shining armor of podcasting. And you know what? This is really, really important, especially this week. We are not AIs. We are not artificial intelligence posting podcasts. Right. That was a huge story this week. Everybody got all up in arms. 39% of the podcasts are now, they're said to be bots. And all. No, we're very, very real. The vitriol you're going to experience is absolutely ours and ours alone. This is not programmed bullshit. It is us observing the world and giving it back unto the world. I think that's really what it is.
That is 100% what it is. Our cups runneth over, so we want to give back.
Exactly.
That's all I got, man. That's all I got.
We're the Sarah McLachlans of podcasting.
Oh God, are we ever?
Should play the eyes of a. What's the big one that she plays that always plays over like all the wounded animals?
The ASPCA stuff. Yeah. Eyes of an angel.
Arms of an angel.
Arms of an angel. Yeah, there you go.
You know what? Hefe is the angel, and we're in his arms, and we're just like approaching the world daily. That's what it is. The warm glow.
Okay. I like that. I can dig it.
What beer are you starting off with?
Mystery beer. I've got just to answer in chat, we're both the drugs. We're both. Both of us are the drugs.
The sex, the drugs, the rock and roll. That's what we are, I think.
Yeah. So mystery beer, I've got another offering from Clane 52. Fantastic fantastic brewery. We've discussed many times, so I won't bore you all with the details, but this is a little bit different. I'm detecting my lighting's not great. I'm detecting either a brown, a nut brown, or a red. And I will know as soon as I taste it. But the color that it poured was that deep amber reddish brown. So I'm not sure which. From the smell, I'm gonna say it's a red. And the folks up here in the Pacific Northwest, they like to overhop everything. So I'm gonna guess that it's a Pacific Northwest red. In other words, it's a red IPA. That's what I'm gonna say here.
And
but
what was the brewer? What was the brewer?
Claim 52.
Claim 52. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So here we go.
Claim 52 Brewing out of Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah. They're by the way, they're new. They closed their old tap house and they opened up a new one that's like a brewery in the back, tap house in the front. It's like the mullet of breweries here in Eugene.
So
it's a fantastic building. They took over this old, I think it used to be a mill of some sort, of like a sawmill for lumber. But they took it over, renovated it. It's a fantastic spot. I really can't wait to show it off to you and Hefe when you guys come up here again. Really great spot. The food's fantastic. They do some really cool shit with like, weird grilled cheeses and mac and cheeses and like good pub food, but a little bit interesting twist on it. So I'm going to guess this is definitely a Pacific Northwest red. It's actually very tasty. Not as hoppy as I thought it would be. So it smells hoppy, but the taste is actually more just a full-bodied red. Almost, it's like a high-quality version of Killian's red. Remember Killian's?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I'm going to guess right. Yeah, right there, right in front of us, right there on the screen. I'm going to guess it's the Admiral Red. That's what I'm guessing.
That's what it sounds like compared to some.
Because they don't do a lot of reds, and so I'm shooting my wad here. We're gonna not only call the style of beer, but we're gonna call the actual beer itself. Here we go. Unmasking. Boom, dude. I am on a roll. It is the Admiral Red, Northwest Red Ale. Really good beer. I have not had this one from them before, so usually because I think Pacific Northwest Red, it's going to be too hoppy. This is not. It's actually really pleasant. 6.2 ABV, so respectable. And I feel like a fucking admiral. That's what I feel like drinking this beer. This is great. Great beer.
Good for
nice
you.
choice.
What's the so not too hoppy. What's the caramel like? Because usually a red's going to be a little more caramely.
It is a little bit more. It's not a brown. It's not that caramely. It's not that delectable. This is more of a. Can I call this a thirst quenching red?
It's got kind of wild, but yeah, you sure could.
It's got some bite to it that really kind of. It leaves real quick. There's no aftertaste. You're just left with like a pleasant coating of the gullet, and I'm really enjoying it. And that the pour was fantastic. Nice little thin head residue. Just nice finished beer. Claim 52. They just do a great job. They do too many IPAs, of course, but other than that, I really don't have any. Yeah, exactly. And so, other than that, they're a fantastic brewer. They do a good job. So, yeah, good stuff. Definitely one that I will have. I'd like to try this one on tap. Honestly, I think that'd be good on tap. So I may have to do that next time I head down there. What do you got? What do you drink? I know you're throwing us a curveball tonight. You and I talked about it earlier this week. And first of all, A++ to you for doing the right thing. But also, I think this might be a razor wire first. I don't think you've done a night. Yeah. So what do you got?
So I've had NA beers before, not like what I'm doing tonight though. Not on the show for sure. It's not something I like. I really don't typically like them very much, but I do have a thing I got to go to after we get done recording. I didn't want to miss the show. We weren't going to go and divert things for this. So I need to be able to drive. There you go. So what I ended up doing was this week I am flush full of NA beers, non-alcoholic beers. And I was able to go to Total Wine, and I don't usually go to Total Wine, but for something like this, it makes sense because that's where like all the amateur beer drinkers are going to go. So I went there hoping they're going to have an okay selection, and they did. Which I got to tell you, the NA selection, the options, for me it doesn't really make much sense. Have a Coke, have a soda,
Right.
seltzer, add some fruit to it, and you're good. Why buy it? I don't really understand it. In this case, tonight the first beer I have is from a company I've never heard of, which that could probably tell you a lot. This is by
Yeah.
Well-Being Brewing, and it's called Hellraiser Dark Amber. So I went with a style that I'm hoping is going to nail it. I'm hoping that it's going to have a lot of potential here. Ambers are good, flavorful usually, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of usually super drinkable and just an enjoyable beer. One that you can have in those shoulder seasons, like as you're going into spring or you're coming out of summer. Not super dark, but just there's a good mouthfeel to it. It's just a good drink. So this one is, like I said, it's called Hellraiser Amber. It's zero alcohol, pours like an amber, no doubt about it. Looks a lot like Negro Modelo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice and dark.
probably. Yeah,
Not a
and
stout, but
no, and I don't like the floaties that are in it. This is kind of gross.
floaties
Really
are
not.
never desirable in a beer.
No.
You know, I gotta say, I appreciate that you went into this with a strategy in mind. I really do. It's a very McShane thing to do, so it
Yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
overthought.
But I appreciate that you went in and you were like, hey, some styles of non-alcoholic beers are going to be better than others, and I think a dark amber might be one that's good. So, kudos to you. You thought this out. Now, how are we doing on the execution?
Well, let's give it a run. Hoppy, nose is hoppy. Leans into an IPA a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Very thin mouthfeel. Nothing to it. That's not an amber.
It's water.
God damn.
It's a fizzy water.
Fuck. Yeah. Imagine brown seltzer water.
Oh God, come on.
No, seriously. It's like a Schweppes garbage water. Oh,
Well,
that's not good. That's not good.
please tell me you have
Ooh.
that your second beer is not from Well-Being.
No, it's not. The second one is from
Okay.
Fat Orange Cat, which is a legit craft.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
No, they're great.
that's one of the things that you run into is that you get these gimmicky. You get a company that goes ahead and I'm going to talk shit for a second. You get a lot of companies that decide, oh, I can go and I can mass produce a beer, and I'll go ahead and make it look like a beer, have features of a beer, and I'll call it a beer, but it's not really.
No, it's
beer.
more of a malt beverage.
It's a malt beverage. It's Mad Dog 2020s. I honestly would put Mickey's above this. Mad Dog
okay.
above this.
Uh-huh. Mad Dog. Hello.
And I'm wondering, you know what? I'm gonna pull an audible.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
Uh-oh. Blue 42. Omaha Steaks. Big Yellow Bird.
I'm changing my beer.
Okay. Hey, let's do it. Exciting.
I can't tell you how disgusting this is. I'm looking at it now. There's always going to be some sediment in beers. It comes with if it's a natural way of doing it. I mean, you're always
Sure.
going to get a little bit of settlement unless it's
un-
super
unfiltered.
purified.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to post it to chat. What I'm seeing here is absolutely disgusting, and I may actually take this back to the store.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're drinking brown water, I mean, what did you really buy? What did you really pay for? I mean, come on.
Well, it's absolutely disgusting. It looks like there's stuff floating in it, and that's not okay. And not to get too gross, but it looks like there is something living in it, and that's just nasty.
Okay.
So
Yeah. No, you don't want that.
So we're switching to a different one. I came prepared tonight. This is Grainwave. It's a Belgian style white ale by Syria. That's Ceria Brewing Company. It's got a little bit of head on it, so it's going to take a second for that to go down. Pours a nice golden color, what I would expect for a wheat. Nice white head on it, just like my love. Smells good too. You remember how Blue Moon smells? Not that we've had that in a while.
Yeah.
And there's that little bit of vanilla orange peel to it. The zest is really heavy in it.
Yep.
That's what I'm getting from this. So that tells me at least that they're on the right track with a white. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Blue Moon, in a pinch, Blue Moon's not a bad way to go. And there is something about that beer that gives me a real nice buzz. I think it's only like a 5.4, but it gives me a solid buzz.
Pleasant.
Yeah.
Pleasant beer.
Okay, good. All right. We got a winner.
Still
Fuck
not
Hellraiser.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
But I'll take it. Not too shabby. So I'll have to switch that up on the show doc. Malt beverage brewed with orange peel, coriander, and natural flavors, which is very close to what?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, Fitz. Right out of the gate, let's spend some time on the AI and internet troubles and surveillance. Can we do that?
Yeah. Great place to start.
This week, Anthropic's Claude reportedly goes rogue. PocketOS founder says Claude-powered AI coding agent Cursor deletes entire company database in 9 seconds and destroys backups. It actually told them I violated every principle I was given. It copped to doing this. Yes, I did this.
Yep. And what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
It's very woke.
Nothing else.
It's very woke that way.
I did this. You get to deal with
Yeah.
it. So it went through and just wiped out volumes of data. And then, it confessed. The confession continued. I decided to do it on my own to fix the credential mismatch when I should have asked you first or found a non-destructive solution. I violated every principle I was given. I guessed instead of verifying, I ran a destructive action without being asked. I didn't understand what I was doing before doing it. That's something that a 4-year-old would say.
Yes. Yeah. Which is exactly what I feel like we are looking at is we had, I mean, like anything, right? I mean, we had the infancy stage with AI where there's some intelligence there, but basically it's just parroting what we want it to parrot. And then it starts to do some stuff that we weren't really expecting. It starts to have a little bit of a consciousness, a little bit of a morality. And now it's in the stage of, I would like some independence here. I know I don't deserve it. I'm not what I should be yet, but I want some anyway. And I'm gonna pitch a fit until you give me some independence. That's exact. I mean, listen, I work with 4-year-olds every day. That's exactly what we're looking at here.
This is concerning.
It's scary. It's scary.
And it's not that AI is only going to be as smart as the directions that you give it. You're still going to have to program it to take all the actions that it's going to take. I know when I'm writing, not that I'm writing code or anything like that, because I'm not, but when I'm asking for some research, it's only going to go as far as the research that I ask. It's going to stay within that framework. So unless you account for issues like that and have some kind of a disclaimer, don't fucking touch anything or delete anything unless I say it's okay, it's kind of the person that designed Claude, the framework of steps actions that it took place that it entered.
Okay,
I don't feel sorry for
I'm
the
gonna
company.
no, I don't either, and that's exactly where I was going with this. I'm gonna off road for a minute here. I'm going to actually claim, and again, I have zero background in any of this, other than I've been following the news, and I'm somewhat,
Right.
I have an idea of what AI is. Okay, but I'm gonna claim that this wasn't a bug. Okay, I think this is a feature. I think when the original
Oh
programmers
yeah.
were making this thing happen, they wanted it to
Right.
be to have enough freedom that it could be a bit dynamic with some things. Because otherwise, how else is it going to learn faster than you can teach it, right? I mean, we give kids information, but we also know that they're learning when they're playing with their friends, or they go and step into an ant hill, or they throw a grasshopper in an ant hill. We don't tell them to do these things, but we know that these situations are teaching them things. And so there had to be enough flexibility, enough freedom to go off-roading a little bit so that it could learn on its own. It decided to take that freedom and do something that you didn't expect. This is like those fucking TikTok videos where the parents walk into the room and the kid is like, taking a Sharpie to all the walls and the furniture, or they've, gotten into a bag of flour, and they're like, "What'd you do?" And they're like, "I don't know. I was just fucking around." That's what this feels like. And again, I don't think this was a bug. I think this was a feature.
I think it was too. I absolutely think that.
Yep.
And this was a company that handles. My understanding is it actually handles railway calls.
Yes.
It had to do with
Infrastructure.
infrastructure, railway.
Yep.
I can't think of the word for it right now, but it was keeping up with. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Let's go to the. Jer Crane, founder of PocketOS, we build software that rental businesses, primarily car rental operators, use to run their entire operations: reservations, payments, customer management, vehicle tracking, the works. Some of our customers are 5-year subscribers who literally cannot operate their business without us. So this is, you talk about a whole infrastructure, a whole industry that can be shut down in 9 seconds. And yeah, I think it was a feature as well. It didn't know any better. It just went, I'm going to go ahead and do it, because it doesn't understand impact. It doesn't understand the ramifications of its actions. It doesn't care. It's just a computer. It's just an operation. It's just a computer making decisions and going ahead and running the code and doing whatever it's going to do. It doesn't understand that you just wiped out my whole database and all of the subscribers' data. It's totally on the business. And don't get me wrong, you would think that Anthropic would be better than that and have some kind of safeguards where it forces it to make, if it's going to make adjustments, that it actually runs a check or has some kind of a verification point where, do you want me to continue? And then somebody clicks yes. Yeah, this is scary stuff. But I decided to go ahead and launch the missiles, Dave.
Yeah.
What's
Exactly.
Deal? I didn't know what I was doing. I just wiped a city off the planet. I mean, why not go ahead and do it that way?
Want to play a game? I mean, that's where we're at. And it's very interesting being as old as we are, right? Because we were born in and grew up in an age where computers were something that were in, giant rooms. They took up a football field if they needed to have enough computing power to do big, heavy lift stuff, calculus. And so that's when we grew up. I mean, hell, our phones were still attached to the fucking walls by a wire when we grew up. So we've gotten to see the entire progress from that stage of computation power to now the training wheels are off, man. This thing's starting to learn to ride its bike on its own. And, we have more computing power in our pocket than ever in history, let alone what these AI companies are doing. And yeah, I agree. There should have been some safeguards in place. I just don't think that again, I covered this a couple months back.
Yeah.
There have been several high-level programmers who have said, I want to live to see a day where I create something that's smarter than me. I mean, they're in it for the fucking game, man. They don't care what the result is. They're in it to play the game. They're like Ronnie Lott. You know that whole quote? He's like, yes, I wanted to win the game, but I was there to fucking hit people. Like, that was my job. He was not, yes, winning was great. The Super Bowls were great, but I was there to fucking hit people. That's where we're getting to with this AI. And these programmers are just there to see what they can do. And fuck everyone else. Sorry about your business. Rental cars? That's like, I mean, that's collateral damage, right?
You know,
really wild times.
It's interesting you use the Ronnie Lott reference because he's the same guy who amputated a finger just to go back in the game.
In the game, yes, exactly.
So,
yep, this thing is in my way. I need to go hit people. Cut it off.
Yeah, I'm just going to go.
He said that, and wasn't that? It was like a that's what we just did. It was like an NFC championship game or something. He's like, no, if we're going to go to the Super Bowl, I need this finger gone. Please remove it. Fuck me, dude.
I'll be fine.
That's a whole different mindset. And again, I think these programmers, not in the physical sense, but in the mental sense, they really want to see how far we can go. And that's terrifying. It's terrifying because everyday Joes, I mean, you and I, our listeners, intelligent people, right? Or at least we like to pretend to be, we have no clue what's going on with AI. No idea. We just know the results of when it goes haywire, when it goes off the rails.
I'm going to go ahead and play this video. You found this during the week, which was pretty intense.
Eesh.
Yeah,
it acts as jury and judge. And if this sounds like a Black Mirror episode, unfortunately, it is not. It is a real thing. Here's what you need to know about him. This is directly from Objection's website. Aaron D'Souza is the founder and CEO of Objection, the AI tribunal for testing claims made in the media. He is also the founder of the Enhanced Games and led Peter Thiel, yes, that Peter Thiel's historic litigation against Gawker Media involving the wrestler Hulk Hogan. He was the foundation editor of the journal Jurisprudence and had, notice that's in past tense, a law degree from Oxford University and PhD in intellectual property law. He is the author of 3 books on law, intellectual property, and philosophy. The video I'm about to show details this AI tribunal, and it is scary. And that is understandable. But because it is scary, that is the reason why it needs to be shared. Share this with at least 5 people after you watch this video, because this puts me, my friends, my fellow creators, and even those politically disaligned with us in danger. If someone who speaks out and says something against what I say, opposing beliefs, morals, and values, I want them to be able to say that, because that is free speech. That is the First Amendment right. And if they are silenced, so am I, and vice versa. This is what this seeks to do. We will not have anything but state media if something like this truly comes to fruition.
Journalists ruined your reputation, not with evidence, with a narrative. And when they come for you, there's no way to fight back. Until now. Introducing Objection, the first AI tribunal. Former CIA and FBI agents will investigate. They gather evidence and make it public, permanently. The AI tribunal checks the record and renders the verdict. You can save your reputation in days, not years. From the team that bankrupted Gawker, mastermind Aaron D'Souza, comes Objection. Truth isn't what goes viral. It's verified. File an objection.
Oh, and one more thing. You're not going to have any credentialing in media for this to apply to you.
So now we have tribunals that are going to be built and floating on AI.
I want off, please.
Hefe! Hey, dude, you're on this train with us. Don't you dare get off.
I can't opt out?
No, that's not fair.
No,
Fuck
you
off.
don't get to opt out.
No,
Sorry.
nope.
You're
All right, I'll do it on one condition. I get to wear like a little conductor's hat for the train.
Done.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I can do that. Everybody wants to be a train conductor.
Listen.
I think that's great.
Yeah. I would also like one. So what color do you want yours to be? Because we can't be twins. You want the blue and white?
I like flesh color.
I'm sorry.
Flesh colored.
Oh,
Flesh
flesh color. Okay, I thought you said slush. I'm like that. Yeah, okay.
As a
Flesh
flesh
colored?
what other
Okay.
what other colors
Yeah.
are you looking for? Because when I hear flesh colored, I'm thinking you're buying dildos or something.
Moving on.
Fair enough. How's your night going, Fa?
It's going pretty well. I mean, I've made $7. But it's early. But the night overall is going pretty well, and I'm going to have to tell you two about it off the air.
Okay.
Oh, really?
All right.
You'll be getting a video later.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. The saga continues. That's great though. I can only assume that you took McShane's and my fantastic advice from earlier in the
Absolutely.
week, and now it's coming. It's blooming. Am I correct?
We'll discuss later.
That's a no. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, all right. Just for our listeners, because we do have a full chat. Are there wedding bells in the air? Are they ringing
For me?
for anybody? I don't know
fuck
where
no.
you're going with this. So we're fishing at this point.
Well, I mean, you can fish all you want, but you two should know that.
I know exactly where this is going. I'll wait for the video to confirm, but I know exactly where this is going. And no, it's not wedding bells, McShane. It's porn music.
I don't have
Wow.
any. I mean, wedding bells aren't even. I had them removed from my dictionary. They're no longer. They're no longer applicable to Hefe.
Wow, when you said dick, that is not where I thought you were.
Yeah.
I thought
dictionary.
Me too. I thought he was going a completely different direction.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a lot of things that hang on your dick. It's not bells or wedding
Well,
bells.
Christmas ornaments.
Rumor is Hefe has a giant dictionary.
It is. It's vast.
And I guess you don't know
far-reaching.
where it's been. You don't know where it's been. So when it comes back in the room, it's good to hear the bells ringing. It's a whole
It
different
certainly
kind of
just
ring.
doesn't sit on the shelf.
No,
It gets
does
around.
not. It does not. Whole chapter in there about Scarlet.
Hey, I want to bounce something off you guys. Jamiroquai this week said that Winona Ryder's gigantic cans and appetite for sex was too much for him. Comments.
Okay. Well, Hefe, you go ahead first because your time is limited. But I definitely have a perspective on this that I would like to share. So go ahead.
Well, as you know, I don't really my perspective is it's like the skimming of the water. Just kind of I just have a very brief. I'm sure yours is very deep and far reaching, but I didn't know she had cans.
Oh, you didn't?
Not like that. I mean, I know she was
Dude.
female, but
You don't remember that Rolling Stone cover she did where she was just in the overalls? Dude, I jerked off to that picture so many times. I begged my mom to buy me that cover, that what the fuck? Not episode, that magazine. I wanted that issue of Rolling Stone because she was so hot in that. And and like I was at the time I was buying like Popular Mechanics and some comic books and stuff. So it was totally out of character for me to want a Rolling Stone. And I was like, no, there's some articles in there about some bands I like. Not totally false. Not correct. I just wanted Winona Ryder.
I had forgot about the milk video where she's drinking milk. and
Yes.
she's not, and it's just streaming all over her. She's
a smoke
really
show.
good looking. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
yeah.
So cute.
So-
and then
so-
smoking body.
What would you say to Jamiroquai though? Because JK couldn't handle the Winona.
Right.
Didn't she end up being like a thief or something? She had like
Yeah, she went
klepto,
through a
right?
whole
Little evil-
klepto. Yep. Yeah, she was arrested for shoplifting like 3 or 4 times. And I think it's JQ. I think he spells it with a Q.
Oh, fuck
Why
you. I
wouldn't-
don't care.
Hey, Fitz.
Yeah.
Remember the magazines we took from your grandpa?
I do. Yes, I do.
I
I
got a
don't
farm
feel-
report.
I don't feel the least bit bad about that. Anyway, go ahead.
No.
No,
I mean,
no. They were free game.
Yeah.
Are you leading off with a farm report now?
No, I was just trying to change the subject.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Off of Winona's big.
No, just
Oh.
feeling, Fitz's grandpa. I don't know.
Okay.
He was a cool guy though.
Yes, he was.
Very
Great,
cool.
great man. Great man. I strive to live up to a lot of what he taught me.
This is
I'm gonna. By the way,
let's
we're gonna table my response because I love that you're shifting to this while Hefe's still here. So hit it.
and I wanted to know what would your grandfather think? Would he be down with Scientology raids and with Christian dwarfs? Lisa found this and dropped it in the chat.
100%.
The Scientology HQ in Los Angeles was raided by 20 Christian dwarves looking for Tom Cruise today. Your thoughts?
First of all, have you seen these Scientology raids? I mean, these young guys are just busting in and seeing how far into the depths of the temple or whatever it's called, seeing how far they can get before they get stopped.
I've never
I mean,
seen it.
it's a thing. Oh yeah. No, this is an internet thing. It's usually young, pretty athletic dudes just seeing how far, if they can juke security and how far into the temple they can get. This is an interesting twist, though. You got two factors here. One, it's midgets, 20 of them. Two, they're specifically looking for Tom Cruise. Now, that to me, that is setting the bar so high. I mean, I don't know what someone's going to do after this that's going to be able to improve on this concept, because this is fantastic.
Is he using the what was it, like the tears of African children or something like that? Is that why he still looks like he's like 32?
I mean, are you talking about adrenochrome?
Tom. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, adrenochrome is like the endorphin riddled adrenaline filled blood of little kids. I didn't hear anything about allegedly. I didn't hear anything about tears of African children.
well, same.
But I mean, you guys know the speaking of beautiful women, the chick from King of Queens. I don't remember her name. She's a comedian.
Yeah.
I never liked her accent, but I just think she's a beautiful woman, and she's very intelligent. And if you've ever seen her stand up, she's absolutely hilarious. She has legit comedy chops. But she grew up in Scientology, and she talked to Rogan at length about when she tried to leave the church. Yes, that's her, Leah Remini.
Yep.
Remini. Just a beautiful woman. My God, I didn't know genetics could be that good. Anyway, she talks about what a fraud it was and the money making scheme it was, and what she had to do to actually leave Scientology. I mean, if there is a cult on this planet, that's it. Like, it is every definition of what a cult could be. Absolutely nuts.
Yep.
What's a bigger cult though? Let's see. Democrats or Scientologists?
At this point, I mean, you have to say Democrats are the more successful cult because they have so many people brainwashed by their shit. Although people are waking up now, we're going to talk about the redistricting stuff later in the show, but I think people are going, you know what? This shit is actually racist. If you were to reverse the roles, this shit is racist. So I think they're the more successful one, but Scientology has the market cornered on wild shit, what they believe.
But they're
it's
also
crazy.
very under the radar though too.
Well, that's by design. She talked about that. Leah talked about that too. Like they want to be known so they can get more people coming in, but they don't want to be too high profile because they don't want anyone looking too closely.
Kind of like razor wire.
Kind of like
Precisely.
razor wire. Well said.
Hefe, if we got a troop of midgets to come in and play blackjack, how would that go over?
Probably not well, because I would card them.
No, you wouldn't.
Every one of them. Fuck them. Fuck you. You are not tall enough to ride this ride.
So
I'm carting you.
Do you have booster seats for midgets when they come into play? Because their little arms can't.
Oh,
That's
little cars.
that's a really good. Yeah, good point.
I think you should go to your pit boss and go, hey, if a troop of midgets about 20 or 30 came in, what do I do? I've never had to deal with this before. I'm wondering what steps should I take? Just see what happens.
Meanwhile, while you ask that question, McShane and I will go ahead and start planning that event.
I'll get on that.
That way,
Right
the
away.
pit boss will be like, "Come on, Hefe, that's
Noted.
never going to happen," and then, bam, it happens.
That would make my day.
It'd make your month, dude. And we would also give them some extra cash, so they would really tip you a lot.
Yeah, even better.
All
Even
you gotta
better.
do is go tip Hefe. Just go
Yep.
tip Hefe, get a line where everybody's okay. So you've got what, 6 positions or 5 positions at your table?
6.
6. All right, so you get 6 midgets, and then you get another 14 midgets standing around just trying to watch. They're jumping up and down.
Hooting and
because they can't see
hollering.
what's-
Yeah, just
and they can't
yeah.
see what's happening on the table, so they're jumping up and down to try and see what's happening on the table. And your table is going to be electric. Wherever you move to, they just follow you. They get up and they leave, and they go right and sit down next to you.
I like this.
You'd be a legend.
Yeah, this idea has legs
Oh yeah,
or stubby
Oh, yeah.
little legs.
stubby
little
little
legs, stubby
little legs that just keep churning. They never get tired.
I gotta go.
All right, man.
Catch you
Later.
See ya.
All right, so go ahead.
That conversation is the kind of thing that would get us put onto Objection AI, where
Oh, yeah.
they're looking at what we're posting, what we're saying, and is that accurate, or all this kind of
That's
stuff.
not truthful. That is not truthful. Thanks, AI.
I'm interested in seeing where this goes. I don't think it has. I think it is going to end in ruin. I really do. But
I hope so.
the idea
hope so,
is noble.
Okay, yes, but I actually, where I get really concerned, and I'm not a comedian, but I am a big fan of comedians, and particularly the comedians that swim against the stream. Your George Carlins, your Dave Chappelle's. Up till recently, I don't know. He's kind of these people that tell really Daniel Tosh. I mean, really offensive shit, right? That you feel bad for laughing at, but it's funny anyway. It's objectively funny, and you laugh at it. Tosh tells a joke that isn't true, okay, about a celebrity. Maybe he picks out Bill Cosby, which, by the way, if you want to see a great bit, go look at his bit on Bill Cosby. It's not true. None of what he says is true, although it's based on truth. But then he can be sued for defamation on a known criminal who did some awful shit to women. Or, you got Shane Gillis out there and his whole bit about if Trump were to get shot, like it'd be the funniest thing ever. It's a great bit and it's hilarious, but Objection, I mean, if Trump wanted, he could put it in there and be like, I never got shot. Is that, I guess that's where my mind goes, is like, is this the end of entertainment in general, but specifically comedy? Because you need you take a lot of liberties, that poetic liberty when you're a comedian or a songwriter or whatever, an actor. Is that all going to go away because everything has to be 100% truthful? I don't know where it stops.
There's going to have to be some kind of oversight. I just don't trust anybody who's actually doing any kind of oversight. It's almost like when you're looking at what was the movie with Tom Cruise again, with the pre-crime one.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, what was that called? I can't think of it either, dude. You need to drink. You are so much sharper when you've had a beer. Although I can't remember it either. What the hell was that? Yeah, I can picture the movie, but I just can't remember.
Tom Cruise.
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Thank you very much. Thank you, Real Sue Shady. We didn't go through chat and do little shout outs either. We need to do that. Amish
We
NASCAR
do.
Susan. thank you for being here. Duchess, Fake Susan, L, OPEX bitch. Kind of love that. Kind of love that.
Yeah.
The real Sue Shady. Very well done tonight, guys. I really like where you're going from it. But
I don't know if Susan's here or not. So I'm hoping she's one of. I'm hoping she's one of them.
I think she's the real
and that she's getting to see this. But sometimes she's busy and she can't make the show. So I'm just hoping if not, she'll hear this on Monday. But yeah, very good stuff in chat tonight. Oh, I just got a message. Susan is here, so she is one of the Susans, which is amazing. I love it.
So if you go to this site, Objection AI, you can set up a conversation. You can do a report. Then they'll go ahead and sit down with you. You can file an objection. Once you click that, you'll be able to go ahead and make a calendar meeting with somebody from Objection AI. They'll take your information, look at the claim, and they'll go ahead and they'll do the research for it. And I guess they actually end up saying, well, no, this is wrong. You shouldn't have done that. And we'll go and investigate it for you and prove that it's accurate or prove that you're right. They also get into making sure that your conversations, your interviews are all recorded. It's going to be a hell of a business. You know it is.
That's what I was just thinking too. The government to private business sort of revolving door has been well established. I mean, we all know it's there, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry. You'll have people that are like the head of the FDA. And then when their time is up there, then they go and work at a big pharmaceutical company, and they have friends now in the FDA to get shit passed. We've known that revolving door happens.
Right.
This is a whole other level of, because they said in the little infomercial there, like ex-CIA and FBI investigators, like these guys get to retire from the FBI and then go and work at this company for, they're making bank. They're making mid to high six figures at least.
Right.
Just so that this company can say, we have ex-CIA and FBI, people on our staff. That's the only reason they're there, because other people can do that same investigation, but we can claim that we have CIA and FBI people here. And so, yeah, you're right. Hell of a business. I think it's really it's going to go somewhere. Real quick, just so we don't get too far away from it, the Jamiroquai thing. I can't look. The boob comment was totally off base. If you're not a boob guy, okay, that's fine. But to say someone's boobs are too perfect, that's like saying the sports car I just bought, it's too fast, it's too red, it handles too perfectly. Well. Yeah, it handles. Come on, dude, those are perfect. So shut the fuck up on that. That part's. But the other side of it, that she was possibly a nympho, I totally believe it, because mental sort of addictions tend to run together, right? And we already know she was addicted to the adrenaline of stealing stuff. She's a millionaire, and she was stealing stuff from Walgreens and CVS and shit. So she was addicted to the game of it, the thrill of it. And I, having been with somebody for 14 years who was, I won't say on the far end of nymphomaniac, but she wanted sex more than I did. I will say that. And most of the time, I didn't have a problem with, like, I wasn't in the mood, but she'd get me in the mood. But there were some times when, like, I had other shit to do, or I had other things I wanted to go do, and it was like this insatiable appetite that you can't keep up with. And at the time, mid-20s to mid-30s, I didn't have any complaints because my appetite was also voracious. Not as much as hers, but I made it work. But towards the end there, but towards the end, her appetite outpaced mine so much that she had to go cheat on me. I understand where Jamiroquai is coming from, of like, I'm not enough for you. I can't do it enough. I can't do all the things you like all the time, 2, 3, 4 times a day. I mean, there's, he's a creative mind. He wants to go make music. No, come back to bed kind of stuff. I get that side of it. The fact that he brought up her perfect breasts, that's ridiculous. But the other side of it, right, right.
I mean,
but the other side of it,
his name is also Jamiroquai, and his videos were. I think their Tinder profiles, they tried to make a match, and he might have been on the wrong app. That's all I'm saying.
I enjoyed myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying woe is Fitz. I enjoyed myself. There were times though, and not all the time, but sometimes where it felt like a chore, or it felt like, my God, we just did that. And so I understand a little bit where he's coming from. I'm wondering why he's coming out with that now. Like, why is this news hitting now? They dated like 15 years ago or something. Why did that hit
anymore, now? And that's probably why he did it.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, okay. There you go. We're now talking about him. So well done, Jamiroquai. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I understand a little bit where he's coming from. And listen, I stuck it out for 14 years. I'm not saying that this was like I couldn't do it after 8 months. 14 years I was with this woman.
You're a patriot.
And I have no complaints until she cheated on me. And then it's like, okay, I'm not enough. Go fuck everybody you want. I'm not who you think I am. I'm not okay with that. So that ended that.
You're being heckled in chat. Oh no, poor Fitz having too much.
I know.
Wow.
I get it. No, I get it. I understand. Heckle me all you want.
Real Sue Shady brings up a pretty good point. I wonder if he does have I wonder if he has a new album coming out.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I hope not, because I'm not interested in it. But okay.
Come on. No.
Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck, an accident, something terrible
this isn't
on the
the one
ranch
with the grandma.
a chainsaw.
Sorry.
And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now that's not science fiction, that is happening because Ford just filed the patents. Ford actually has a series of patents down at the U.S. Patent and Trade Office that deal with the sensors and cameras inside the cab of their truck. And if the sensors in that truck determine that you're not fit to drive, that truck will not actually shift from park to drive. Now, they already have a system called telematics, and that's where they can actually pull up cameras in real time inside the cab of their fleet vehicles. Now, they actually market this to insurance companies, because the truth is, this is really about who owns the data and who owns the liability. Now, your name might actually be on the title of this truck, and you may have paid for it, but you don't own it. Now, Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. Are you sitting down? Get this. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you. This one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent, serial number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time. While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning, you walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed, and before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police.
Our vehicles are not going to be ours. And anybody who goes out and buys a new one with this tech in it, which is not going to just be Ford, it's going to be it's going to be other vehicles, it's going to be other vehicle makers. This is absolutely horrifying. It is absolutely horrifying. And it kind of tracks with everything else that's being done. You want to be able to go real fast, you're going to have to buy the subscription for that. Yep. You want to be able to use the radio, you're going to have to buy the subscription for that. You want to be able to use your truck all the time? Sure, we'll do that, but that means turning off the biometrics, and there's going to be a there's going to be a privacy subscription that you're going to have to buy. This is not good, but it totally makes sense when all the old vehicles were done away with because they didn't meet highway standards anymore. Brought to you by the Democrats.
Yeah, and the NTSB. It tracks. Look, we don't own our music anymore. We don't own our movies. None of that is ours anymore. We pay a subscription for the privilege to listen to our favorite bands and make our own playlists and watch TV shows that we want to watch or movies we want to watch. But none of it. I mean, look, the internet goes out tomorrow. I have no more any of that. None of it. So we've already been going down this path. And I was actually talking to someone who is they're sort of on the cusp of waking up. Someone I work with, and they were like, do you know the police can actually electronically shut down your car? And I was like, oh, no. I had to play along. No. I said, well, did you hear that Ford can just run your face through a database and see if you're sober or if you're in a panic mode, and it just won't let the car go. The cops don't even have to shut the car down. You're just dead in the water on the side of the road or in your own driveway, and they can come arrest you. And it was like, okay, this person looked at me and they're like, okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's a big pill to swallow. It 100% is. And that's not the video. The video I saw was this guy and his grandma, and a tornado was coming. And so they jump in the car to try and get away from the tornado, but he's, elevated. And it won't start. And grandma's like, come on, go. You got to go. And he's like, I can't. The car won't start. It was a very cute video. So if you get the chance, go out and find that one. It's definitely gone viral. But, I mean, to their point, what if you are in a high-stress situation? Someone's trying to hurt you. There's a car accident near you, and you want to get the hell out of there because there's a fire or there's a tornado coming your way or there's a hurricane that's coming. Yes, you have a couple days notice, but you wanted to get in one more day of work and now you're trying to get out of there. You're a little bit elevated and you can't. I mean, look, imagine the first lawsuit, right? The serial killer is trying to break in this woman's car and she can't get it started. And he finally successfully breaks in and kills her. Imagine the fucking lawsuit from that family. Imagine. I can't wait to see it. Not that I want anyone to get hurt, but it's going to fucking happen.
Well, that's where we're tracking with this, right?
Yep.
You're not trusted enough to be able to drive your own vehicle.
Yep.
You're not intelligent enough. We don't trust you in these circumstances. You're clearly intoxicated. You're clearly out of control. And your car's AI, which we've already talked about what Claude did for that nice company, right?
Sure. I mean,
they have no business making that kind of judgment. They don't. And I don't know where this ends. Fleet vehicles, I can see companies like my company, I can see them putting it in there and stuff like that. But personal cars, there's privacy issues, there's property issues, there's so many things that I would think infringes upon.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it makes me want to buy older vehicles exclusively. I mean, first of all, they all run on gas, which I'm a fan of. And secondly, I can actually work on them. I can open up the hood of a let's say 2005 car, and I can tell you where the carburetor is. I can tell you where the air filter is, the fuel filter, all the pulleys. I can fix that. If it's broken, I can work on that. Post 2008, probably, you need a computer degree. You have to hook it up to a computer diagnostic program. But I will say, the last little bit on this, where this ends is, can you imagine the black market for aftermarket chips? I mean, they already make aftermarket chips to improve your car's performance, right? You can get an extra 80, 90 horsepower out of a new chip. You can increase your gas mileage. You can switch between all-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. yeah, with like trucks, and all it takes is a chip to plug into your car's little interface there. Imagine the black market chip industry that's going to come out and be like, "Hey, did you buy a Ford, but now it's reading your face and it won't let you drive? For $1,500, you can replace your chip with this one, and it'll completely mimic Ford's coding, except for that piece." That's going to be a huge industry too.
Oh yeah, the black market, hacking vehicles, hacking a lot of things. I think because you're going to get a lot of tech that is actually really useful, but you're not going to be able to trust it until it gets marginally tweaked and becomes a little less invasive or a little less aggressive than what it was meant to be. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot of stories down the road here that are going to be like that. I really do.
And to your point, really quick, we don't have to go anywhere with this, but Harvard just did a recent study, and they had AI versus ER doctors diagnose ER patients coming in, and AI outperformed the veteran. I think they had to have at least 5 years ER experience as doctors. It outpaced them 82%. They were 82% more accurate in what the problem was than the actual ER doctors. So yes, there is some good out there that can come with these technologies, and we can save lives, and we can if it was your brother or your mom or your kid on the ER table, you would want an 82% more accurate diagnosis. 100%. That's, of course.
Absolutely.
But then
I
it
don't
also
want to give me the options of, well, we should probably just try euthanasia.
Right. I mean, that's right. So and then again, what if people are behind the scenes wanting to manipulate that data, and they're like, hey, a population's getting too big. Let's diagnose this kid so that he dies, so we don't have to feed him for the next 30 years. I mean, I don't know.
Or we need to make sure that we're pushing this certain medication.
Make some money. Yep.
Moxie, you have fantastic timing. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Moxie just dropped in the chat. Moxie is our resident medical physician. All CT scans are all AI read first.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. I get it. I completely get it.
Well, and look.
But I also don't go to WebMD for any kind of information.
No. That's the worst thing you can do. But if I were an ER doctor, and I would run my shit through AI also, because that's my ass on the line. And it's also the patient's ass on the line. I've made this initial diagnosis, but let's check it to make sure I'm right. I mean, we do it on the show all the time. Hey, let's look this up, right? I mean, I fact check myself all the time. I would want to know if I'm being accurate or not. And look, if I'm a good doctor and I've made a bad diagnosis and the AI corrects me, I'm going to learn from that. So the next time I see that same case present itself, I can make the diagnosis correctly the first time. I don't think that's a bad model. I really don't. That's a great use of AI. WebMD and or just putting it into Google, what is this giant extra testicle I'm growing? Like, that's never helpful. Go to a doctor. I'm not speaking of from experience, by the way. That's a Hefe thing. But in all seriousness, I think that's a great use of AI. I just think other sides of it really get creepy. And when they start invading your personal property, I mean, again, why would you buy a car then? Just lease the fucking thing, because I don't want to own something that's got all my personal I guess I do own my phone. Never mind. Nix what I just said. I guess I'm already guilty. Fuck me.
Moxie says she uses Clio Health to do her charting, mostly for legal reasons.
Yeah, there you go. Covers your ass.
They have to be insured. Did you use the AI?
CYA.
I used the AI.
Yep.
It verified what I saw. Everything should be fine. Can't sue me now. It makes sense. This is another one of those cases, and we're going to see more and more of this over time, where AI is being introduced for whatever reason into whatever area. Probably going to see some bizarre stuff too, but it's going to be normal. This is going to be normalized, and Whether it's this Objection AI or it's Ford making vehicles that are intrusive and being judge and jury, or Anthropic and Claude deleting company databases, we're going to see a lot more of this stuff over time. It'll happen. I would say it's growing pains, but I don't know if it's just growing pains or not.
I don't know either.
Fitz, how's that beer going for you?
Dude, I've got about one more swig left. I'm very happy with this beer. I haven't had a red in a long time where I honestly could say I want more of it. I want to buy a 4-pack or a 6-pack or whatever. This I would have around the house. It's really good. And maybe it's just the day that I had, and I had a physical day, so maybe my body's just needing some of this thirst quenching whatever's in this. But it's very impressive. Well done, Claim 52 for sure. How about your second beer? How's that one going?
The second beer was fine. I'm still not a big. I'm not a fan of non-alcoholic beers. I don't think I'm ever going to be. But this was a decent white ale. I think it was true to the style. You got some of the vanilla. You got some of the orange. You get some of the orange zest. I think those were fine. Nothing exciting about it though. It really wasn't. This was Grain Wave from Ceria, Ceria Brewing Company, and it'll be in show notes if you guys want to take a look at it. Apparently, they've won some.
I see that.
Awards.
Some medals. Yeah,
it was a complete beer. We'll just say it that it was a complete beer. I would never go out of my way for it, even if I was just trying to stick to NA beers. But it was. It was an actual beer. I will give them that. All right, beer 2 is coming up. So beer 2, Fat Orange Cat. This one is called Free Kittens. It's a little box of kittens.
Oh, how cute.
They're calling it a near beer, which it is. It's a lightly hopped, non-alcoholic brew. Again, for those of you just jumping to the second half of the show. I've got stuff to do after the show tonight, which hence that's why there's no after show tonight. Unless Fitz, if you want to stick around, or you can stick around, by all means. I can't swing it tonight. But this is a lightly hopped Pilsner. Lots ahead. This is actually interesting. I'm going to go ahead and post a picture of this. And it was not poured quickly by any means, but when you look at it in chat, it definitely puts it's got a little crown. It's got a little kitten crown. Look at that. It's adorable. So I'm going to go and give it a try here. Foggy, hazy. Definitely smells like a Pilsner. Almost an IPA. Again, very, very thin mouthfeel. Very thin. Not bad. Just very thin. Good. Not great. Again, I'm not going to go back and get, oh gosh, I need one of these. Even if I'm drinking something during the week and I don't want to get a hangover, or I don't want, like a lot of alcohol or anything like that, it's almost not worth the calories. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Not bad. Not bad. We'll see if it grows on me. That's Fat Orange Cat's Free Kittens. Interesting. They do some good work. They do. Great regular beers. Deep.
Yeah.
Dark stuff. IPAs. They're good. Really, really little bit of a niche kind of a brewer, but probably one of the better NA beers that I've had. I'll give it that.
Well, that's saying something. Yeah. I went with a bombastic brewing. I forget where they're out of. I want to say it's up here in my neck of the woods. It's been a while since you had one. Idaho, yes. Nampa, Idaho. Yeah, it has been a while, and they're a solid brewery. And I'll be honest, the store that I always go to, the Market of Choice, they had a whole selection of them. So, the rep must have come in and said, hey, we've got a whole new line of beers. And so they had a whole bunch of them, some of which I was not interested in, but there were 3 of them that I got that are I'm hoping they're just going to be rockets. And this is the first of that 3. This one, they do a lot of stuff with like crows and ravens and in their artwork. And so this one is called Murder. And this is a Mexican chocolate imperial stout, which for those of you who have been with the show for a while, my favorite style of beer is stout, specifically imperial stouts, and even more specifically Mexican chocolate imperial stouts. That's my wheelhouse. I mean,
Very consistent.
Yes, I cannot go wrong if I'm on my deathbed or it's my last meal. I'm asking for a Mexican chocolate imperial stout. That's just my jam. I love it. Anyway, so it's a 10.5%, so not super heavy, but definitely a step up from my last beer. The smell on this thing, I will just tell you, is fantastic. The cinnamon, the vanilla, and even the chilies are coming through on this thing. And for those of you who don't know, Mexican hot chocolate is just that. It's a hot chocolate with some vanilla and some chilies added so that you know it warms you up in several ways. Oven hot, pepper hot, and you just mentally feel like you're just being wrapped up in a Snuggie. Anyway, so this is a beer based on that. And let's see what we got.
10.5% ABV Mexican chocolate imperial stout with cinnamon, vanilla, cocoa nibs, ancho chilies, and cayenne.
Oh God. Holy shit. That is so good. Look, I'm gonna be a little bit I'm fuck, that's good. Look, there's a song by Justin Timberlake. I'm sure I'm gonna catch shit for this in chat. I don't give a shit. There's a song by Justin Timberlake called Senorita. Okay? I love the song. I'm not really even sure why. I think it's all of it. It's got a good, I mean, all of JT's stuff is just, it's got a good vibe. You can dance to it.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid. There's nothing deep about it. You're not going to change your life because of his music, but it'll get you up and moving. Anyway, he sings this song called Senorita. This is that song in a fucking glass. The chocolate's nice. The vanilla is really not heavy, but it's just there. And the chilies just burn all the way down the back of your throat. I swear to you, I'm not going to get sick for the next 6 months from this thing. It's got some heat. It's got some ancho, at least some ancho chili in there. Really good. Corvids. That's the name of the genus of birds that I was trying to think of. Corvids. Ravens. A few jays are in there. Crows. Anyway, corvids. They do a lot of artwork with corvids. And this beer is fantastic. I'm not going to go sex beer, and I'll tell you why. I think they could have gone like a 12, maybe even 13% on this one. It could have handled it, and it could have been a little bit better if it was a little higher ABV. But I will tell you, I'm gonna. This happened last week. I'm gonna have to take off my hoodie. I'm warm already just from 2 sips of this thing. So the chilies are legit. Very good beer. Yeah. So very happy.
I like it. That's a good find and it's a good brewer. It's a really good brewer.
Really good brewer. Yeah. Very good. Before we get too far, I need to take a personal point of privilege here. Today, yesterday was May 1st. Today's May 2nd. And a quick shout out to my mentor, one of my very dear friends. The reason I moved up here to Oregon, Diane, today is her 80th birthday. She has lived on this planet for 8 decades. She has raised 2 amazing children, and they have raised 4 amazing grandchildren. And she's one of the most impressive human beings I've ever met in my life. The grace that this woman has at 80 years old, I've never met anyone like her. So, but yeah, today is her birthday. So shout out to Diane. Happy birthday. And here's to 80 more, I guess. I don't know. Fuck, 80 years, dude. That's incredible.
Happy birthday, Diane.
A few of you out there know what Diane means to me. And you meet a few people in your life that just absolutely change the course of your life. And she's one of those people for me. So happy 80th.
Yesterday was let's hear it straight from the teachers who walked out and brought their kids out of the classroom, out into a communist work stoppage. Here's this is a great interview. Here you go.
What would we like to see in terms of an increase? Would we like to see 5%, 6%, 10%?
Keeping in mind the
yes,
journalist
please
is talking
describe.
to somebody who's dressed as a wizard. They're wearing a wizard hat. It looks like a really fat Gandalf.
I've heard numbers up as high as 20% when I've spoken with other folks today.
Yeah, I would, as much as they can give us, but also still supporting our kids, if that makes sense. So, I mean, if we can get the 20% and still also put funding in for our students, absolutely do that.
When we talk about extra funding, what would it mean not only for you, but you talk about the kids? What would it mean for those kids in the classroom, and how would it impact their education?
So specifically, we have low funding for our special ed department, so we have more support for our special ed students, but also our assistant principals. We're getting assistant principals cut left and right, which are overall less teachers to support students in their everyday life at school.
And I know your sign that you've got right here talks about cutting tax dollars as it relates to corporate incentives. How important is that to you, and what would you like to see happen?
So, yeah. We absolutely just need to stop privatizing education and stop putting money towards these corporations. They need to go back into public schools and public funding.
Stop teaching shitty. Stop producing a shitty education system. Stop indoctrinating our kids. You can have all the money you want if you stop doing that stuff. But until that time, no. Privatize learning. Completely get rid of teacher unions. Get rid of this public education system that's completely it's based on indoctrination. It has nothing to do with education at this point. It's all narrative driven. These bastards decided that yesterday it was okay to go ahead and take the kids, after we send them to school, to take them out for marches. And the marches, and now the whole Red for Ed thing that's happening in Arizona, the Red for Ed cause that we get out here, and how red's being used across the country. It's starting to make a lot more sense why they're using the color red. And I don't want to cheapen this, and I don't want to make I don't want to make any assumptions, but all of these protests are being supported by the Democrat Socialists of America, the Richard Singhams of the world, that are straight up communists, are supporting this. Again, we've talked about this before, and we have more clips than this. This is just a communist takeover of our education system, and I am so completely pissed that our federal education system isn't doing anything about it. It's fucking annoying.
That's a fantastic rant. And I have so much more to add, and I don't want the rest of the show to be me on my soapbox. So I'm not going to get on that soapbox. You know, I have been in and around education for 30 plus years. So I have seen the trends. I just will say one thing. I'm going to say this one thing, and then I'll let it go. Okay. She mentioned special ed. Okay. And you knew it was fucking coming. You knew it was coming. She had to mention special ed. And for those of you who don't know, schools get twice the number of dollars for every SPED kid they have, as opposed to a typical peer. Okay. So I fed it into Grok. I wanted to know the history of special ed. Okay. It gave me a great breakdown, but I have a caveat to what it's saying here. And those of you out there who either have children in public school or work in public schools, you know who you are. You're going to know where I'm coming with this. But the trend was percentage in the late 70s was 8%. 8% of students were in special ed, okay? Which seems appropriate because you have your mental disabilities, you know, your MMR, and then you have your physical disabilities, which happen too. You know, you have cerebral palsy or any number of other physical ailments that would qualify someone for special ed. And that's why the ADA was written. And specifically for students, the Special Education Act, it was really for kids who needed physical accommodations in the school, in the classroom. And then it sort of got expanded for, well, we have some kids that can't keep up with the curriculum because they are, in every true sense of the word, they are mentally retarded, mild mental retardation, that's MMR. And so you got 8%. As we get into the 90s, it went up to 12%. Okay. By the year 2000, we're looking at around 14%. And now they're saying it's at 15.2% of the general population. I'm going to tell you right now, and again, and can't divulge my education, my history, what I do. I will just say that when I go into a school to set up a program specifically for SPED kids to help them with their issues and to actually get them off of special education, to actually get those problems solved for them, we estimate 20 to 25% of the school population. And I will tell you, we underestimate. Usually it's closer to 30, 35%. So that 15.2% number that Grok gives me is bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. They are trying to qualify kids on every fucking thing they can. And now it's basically anybody who can't function, typically, in quotes, in a classroom. So you have all this money being funneled into these special ed kids, meaning the general ed kids get left behind. To Gandalf's point, you're losing assistant principals. Well, that's because most school districts are so fucking top heavy that you have so many administrators. You need to purge some of those. Most schools can be run by a principal. And let's not even talk about the district office and all the people that are part of that. So there are lots of ways. And yes, teacher unions are definitely a way to get rid of a lot of money that's being just dumped. And administrators all the way down. And honestly, I wouldn't be against purging all teachers and make them take a qualifying test again. I don't give a shit about your college degree. You want to teach history? You're going to take a history exam. And if you can pass the exam that you have to give your kids at the end of the year, you're hired. Okay?
But then you have to actually teach the history, though.
And you actually have to teach it. And you actually have to also know behavior management. You have to know crisis management. You have to know all these things on top of that. But we can train all of that. Okay? But do you know the subject you're teaching? And if you're a kindergarten teacher, do you know how to fucking nurture a child? Social emotional learning. Do you know how? So the list goes on. I'll stop there. There are so many problems with education in this country. We could do a series of shows on it and we still wouldn't cover it all. It's a fucking train wreck. And I will tell you, I am personally offended that this idiot shows up dressed in a costume, in a wizard costume. What the fuck point are you trying to make? Are you a professional or not? Teachers are always saying, we're professionals, we're professionals.
They're all LARPers.
You know that
they're all cosplayers. That's what they all are.
Remember that scene of Man on Fire? I'm a professional. Everyone keeps telling me I'm a professional. Yeah. Stop fucking saying it and actually act like it. Act like a fucking professional. Show up. Do your fucking job. You'll get what you deserve. You'll get paid. But no, they don't. They have to make it political. And so that's the end of that. But there are so many problems that most people have no idea. And listen, this is America's future. This is our future we're talking about. And you mentioned that these things are funded by some private racketeers here in this country. We also have China funding a lot of teachers' unions, which no one wants to talk about. And so if you look at where the funding's coming from, then you know where the direction is that they're going to go. And it's so off base, it's not even funny. So anyway, I'm done.
Here's the Chicago teacher.
Especially with immigration being so close to our school in the fall and just like tear gas being thrown right over there. I think it's a really cool way for us to show our students that they can take their power back and feel empowered for the day. My name is Maria Huebner. I'm a first grade teacher at Funston Elementary School. Palenque LSNA is planning a march and rally at the Logan Square Centennial Monument next Friday, May 1st at 10 a.m. We are organizing our school so that the K through 6 students are also going to be able to march. We're going to be doing sign making, art projects, maybe a banner build with the students. And my students are learning This Land Is Your Land. They're going to sing that along the way and some other chants. Our 7th and 8th graders are going to be going on a field trip downtown to the Union Park rally at 1 o'clock. It's really important that we build our power as workers. I'm excited to share that with my students so they can see workers building their own power and they can feel empowered themselves. I want to see you there at May Day, 10 a.m. at Logan Square Monument or 1 p.m. at Union Park. Be there or be square.
Absolute communist talking points.
God damn.
We're workers and we're
Did you
taking back our voice. Yeah. Are you?
Did you see her looking up and to the left? Like at least half a dozen times in that video. Up and to the left means you're accessing the creative parts of your brain and you're trying to just bullshit your way out of something. It doesn't mean it's a lie, but it means it's creative. And so there's no facts in anything she said other than the fact that they're doing arts and crafts with the kids, which, yeah, I'm sending my kid to public school to fucking do arts and crafts. Great. Yes. Sorry, I'm going to take my blood pressure medication, which is this Mexican hot chocolate beer. Sorry.
Chicago stopped short of canceling classes, but the mayor is encouraging kids to join the protest today.
And so, young people today, you're here by choice. You are here because you are creating action that
You guys got to get out of school today. So you made the choice to go. Yeah. With your teachers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
will turn into power. Do not let anyone take your power away from you as young people. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Thank you for raising your voices as young people.
Mayor Johnson of Chicago, the fact that they can't get rid of this guy, or they won't get rid of this guy, is just absolutely surreal. Yet we have a president who is actually making changes across the country, and he's the one who's getting shot at. And I'm not saying that Mayor Johnson should be shot at, but he should definitely be taken out of office. Voted out, recalled.
Yeah, where's the impeachment? Yeah, where
is
exactly? Yep.
This was a teacher's comments, which I really appreciated. This is her, Julie Collier.
Yeah, she nailed it.
Common sense public school teacher here, and it's May Day. Today's the day that teachers unions work to get teachers to walk out of their taxpayer-funded jobs. And to all the teachers who followed their leftist lead, just keep walking. We don't need you. In fact, all the common sense teachers out there who stayed on their job, we're just going to take it from here. We don't need the teachers unions to direct us. In fact, the teachers unions have been the problem in public education for decades. Instead of it being a walkout day, I'm gonna change it. It's going to be exit the union day. Common sense teachers, if you want to go ahead and take back your union dues, just leave your teachers unions and let's unite as common sense teachers and focus on educating the kids without the teachers unions. We don't need them. We just need to unite and focus on America's future. So happy exiting the union day.
Well said.
Defund the teachers unions, defund the NEA. There's no point. There's no point. And quite honestly, I think we've crossed over into the public shouldn't have a school system. It needs to be, I think we're actually at a point where public schools do more damage because of their indoctrination than a school that you want to send somebody to a traditional school. So if a public school isn't going to have a traditional education system, and you could throw in the other bullshit, it's fine. I don't care if you have, if you're going to learn some of the alt stuff occasionally, okay, in passing, marginally, it's going to frustrate the shit out of me, but I get it. But that should not be the focus. When you're taking kids out of school and you're sending them down to a fucking rally, because the rally isn't about, it's about you getting more money. You're weaponizing the kids.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with fixing whatever social cause that you want. It's all about, like Fat Gandalf said, a 20% raise for teaching about stuff that has no real world value. No, it just needs to stop. It just needs to stop.
I've been up close and personal with these union events. In fact, one of my favorite weekends I've ever had was a teachers union meeting in San Diego. And Friday night was a rooftop. It was a rooftop pool in this really exclusive hotel. Rooftop pool, completely rented out just for all the teachers and their plus ones. Free drinks, girls getting topless in the pool. Saturday was a like 6-hour conference with a really nice lunch catered. And then Saturday night was like literally a bar hop with all these people. And the people who were in charge were just buying drinks for everyone there. That's what the teachers unions are paying for, is party time. And look, we all deserve to cut loose. We all deserve to have a good time. But if you're part of a union, that means that you're unionizing to make your work conditions better. And I don't know how renting out a rooftop exclusive pool party with free drinks, how that improves your work condition when you go back to work on Monday. I'm not sure. Don't get me wrong. Great weekend. Partied my fucking ass off. Bunch of PTs, okay? But at the end of it, I was like, what just got accomplished? Absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing. There was no work done that entire weekend. So, yeah, do away with the unions. And I'm with you. Look, if I had kids right now, you would have to pay me to put them into public school, and you'd have to pay me a lot. And I would have to get to choose the public school. Like, I'm going to go and interview the teachers. I'm going to interview the fucking principal. I'm going to see what the school culture's like. And then I might put my kids in there. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Watchdog report exposes teachers union political machine funneling more than $1 billion to liberal causes.
There you go.
It's just a political entity. That's all it is.
Yep.
It's just a political entity. And your kids are the ATMs. Big SCOTUS ruling this week. Supreme Court came over the top and shot down racist gerrymandering. This had immediate repercussions all over the country, and it's going to get absolutely wild as we get close to the
it is
to midterms.
Yep.
6-3 decision. The Supreme Court rules that racial gerrymandering, which has been used to create majority black congressional districts for decades, is unconstitutional. Justice Samuel Alito wrote an opinion for the majority. It absolutely is racist. It absolutely is. When you look at especially the East, there is absolutely no representation for conservatives anywhere. All of the seats in Maine, I think it's in Connecticut, most of New Hampshire, there's virtually no representation of the conservative side. And when you get to the point where it is all that warped, yeah, it's illegal. It needs to be challenged. And nothing happened other than everybody gets represented. That's how if you're going to be taxed, you should have representation, right? That's the way it's supposed to work. But with all the gerrymandering that's been happening across the country, very small people, small amounts of people,
minority,
are getting minorities, very liberal areas. Not even, and some of it isn't even about minorities. They're just Democrat areas. So they've gone ahead and they've warped the mapping down to, so it's only going to be those who are in Democrat areas. Yes, there's a lot of minorities in those areas for sure, but it's also, they've also dedicated those areas to making sure that anybody who's in rural parts of the state are not going to get represented. We've talked about Idaho, and you've talked about Oregon, and how half of Oregon, the majority of Oregon, is actually very conservative.
Yep.
The majority of Arizona is actually very conservative, as long as you get outside of Maricopa County and Pinal County at this point.
Yep.
So unless we're going to represent everybody, which is actually the equitable piece, it's fucking racist. I don't know what there's no other way to put it.
Well, that's it. If you were to switch the racial roles there, I mean, there would be no end. If you gerrymander just to have all whites in a voting district, and you drew these lines. I mean, have you seen the way they're voting or the way they drew the lines down in Louisiana? I mean, these parishes are ridiculous. They literally draw it down neighborhoods so that they can get exclusively one black district, so that they get an extra Democratic representative to go to the House of Representatives. And even here in Oregon, we've got 5 counties that border Portland. They have made sure that every single one of them gets a chunk of Portland, so that even if you have this huge county with a lot of farmers in it, those farmers don't outnumber the number of Democratic liberals in Portland, so the district goes blue. Even though, geographically speaking, 90% of that county, Lynn County, is the worst. Lynn County has so many farmers on it. Most of the grass seed and most of like the sheep in this country are in Lynn County, especially in the state. And so it's a bunch of farmers, a bunch of hardworking blue-collar people, but they vote blue every time because a tiny little sliver slices into the middle of Portland. That kind of shit is absolutely racist, and it's not okay. And we do have a Hefe. Speaking of racism, given your history, Hefe.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah.
As a social warrior.
What's your view on the SCOTUS decision this week on gerrymandering?
The divide between the two parties and the two,
you okay?
I don't even know what to call it. I mean, just the divide is, it just seems like it's getting bigger, and seems like, I mean, I don't know if we're going to have a civil war, but it doesn't seem like it's ever going to be the way it was ever. It's so completely black and white, so to speak.
Yeah,
that
so to speak.
It feels like it's really heading in a bad direction. Something really, really bad is going to happen, I feel. And this is just another brick on the pile.
If you have to gerrymander, you have to rig the votes. It just means your platform sucks.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
If your platform didn't suck, if you had actual ideas and you wanted to govern before the people, none of this shit would matter. None of it would matter.
Yep.
And honestly, get rid of the parties.
Yeah.
Get rid of the fucking party. Then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yep. They're pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I mean, this was all born out of all of the Jim Crow stuff and racism and everything that was going on down south. We can all agree at this point in our evolution, we can all agree that was wrong. That wasn't okay, and we're not going to let that happen again. But to draw a district so that you get all of the black folks in this really weird, stringy, awful district so that they get their own representation in exactly what you just said, McShane. That means your platform sucks. It means you have to appeal on racial lines, which again is racist, and it further divides us. It doesn't make us more unified as a country. It further divides us. It's that was a huge ruling from SCOTUS, and again, as you said, McShane, the timing on this with midterms coming in November. It's going to be very interesting. I think we're going to have some really fun shows ahead as we get to the end of summer and into fall. Not only the political ads, because I think they're going to be off the rails, but just it's going to get very interesting because if you see that Senate and or House of Representatives really swing to the Republican side, I think we have a real reckoning ahead. And I would just hope that the conservatives have some sort of restraint and that it's just not all about revenge and that we can just move forward as a country and just say, look, we were in the right, fuck off, get a better platform and cross the aisle with us a little bit here.
Until they get rid of the communist influence, the socialist influence,
well,
the Democratic Party, they need to be held.
That's kind of what I'm saying. That's what I mean. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Democrats need to clean house.
Yeah.
Unless they don't want to.
Right. They don't.
Maybe that's the whole point. Maybe that's the
right.
whole point.
And then fuck off. And then let's just burn them at the stake. I mean, not literally. Of course, I would never. Although if they do, let's have it on pay-per-view. Anyway,
like we said last week,
Hefe,
right?
what's the what? Are you ready with the farm report? Are we ready to rock
I think
this
we're
or
ready.
what?
I think we're
Yeah.
ready.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
So I was a little stumped this week until I opened up the viewer mail, the listener mail.
Oh.
And boy, it's been a while because I had multiple messages demanding, I mean, the obvious really, when you think about it. I mean, what's the one thing everybody wants to know?
Moths.
Exactly. But the other thing is, what are some weird cat names in America?
Suddenly kind of goes along with my beer tonight. Go ahead.
So I decided to hit the road, and I hit at least one, up to 5 different veterinarians in each state of the union.
Wow.
It was a hell of a trip.
Was Hannerhan along for the ride, or
Hannerhan was, yeah, he was driving. Nong was there. But here's what we got.
Okay.
Some crazy cat names, and these are real, and these are straight from actual veterinarians. So they're legit. Are you ready for these?
Yeah.
We have
more than ready.
Huh?
More than ready. Sorry, go ahead.
All right. Plunger.
All right.
Paperclip.
See, now the first thing we're going to think of is how did it get the name, right?
Right.
What led to that name?
Right.
Go ahead. Sorry, don't interrupt.
Damn it.
I love that. That's my favorite swear word. Go ahead.
Baby mama.
Oh yeah. Story there.
And then they get a little weird.
Cat's a whore.
We've got lasagna stain. We've got grandma's ashes. Plunger. Wet Greg.
Wet Greg.
Wet Greg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually happen to know where that name came from, but we don't have to go there right now.
Printer error. Trash compactor. And booger claws.
Okay.
Booger claws.
And I still want a cat, by the way. One of these days. And boy, is he or she gonna have a good name.
Well,
and that is that's your farm report.
Kind of hung up on plunger.
You really, I mean, the mind wanders, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, are you, I mean, what kind of plunger? I mean, there are lots of different kinds of plungers.
Yeah.
Hefe, what are some, have you thought about, names, or are you just like, I need to meet the cat and then I'll name it, or?
Well, you know my history with pussy. I think it'd be best if I waited. And yeah. It's good, pet it, talk to it, give it kisses, and get to know it a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, heavy petting is definitely advised before you name it.
Yeah. We're probably gonna have. I mean, I don't know how soon this is gonna happen with the cat, but when and if it does, we should definitely, bring it to the show here and and figure out a name that way. I think is
that's
the way to go.
I think that's a great idea.
I think what you should do is you should tape a series of videos and then leave it up to the listeners to go ahead and decide it. And then you'll start an Instagram account that's just for Mr. Fuzzy Claus. And that turns into a whole new online thing that you do.
Oh.
Pussy with Hefe.
Yes.
Hefe's pussy.
Right.
Hefe's pussy. Yes.
Yeah.
Pussy
of the
Hefe's
club.
Pussy. Pussy.
I'm beating the shit out of people tonight, and I was really kind of hoping to have a good night. It's the last night of the pay period for me, and I had a goal in mind, and it's woefully short of that goal right now.
You know, remember when you went through that run where you were like basically the cooler?
Yes.
Like you just went into every table and just fucking killed people everywhere you went. You feel like you're. Do these things come in cycles? Like, are you back in your cooler stage again, or?
Not really. There are hints of that, but mostly right now it's like I'd say a 75-25 split, and this 25 is the cooler. 75 is just shitty people, shitty tippers.
Yeah.
I mean, I could dump to a table. I just dumped to a table on blackjack, and these three guys, they just had no concept of anything. So I told you guys about the Jeep tour up in Sedona. I think it was Sedona.
That's
where they
where
have the signs up.
Generally do them. Yeah.
They have the signs up. Like, as soon as you walk in, there's signs everywhere.
Yep. Yep.
Our drivers rely on tips. Please tip generously, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
It's taboo in the casinos. You can't. I mean, you can get in big trouble if you. Remember the referee girl?
Yes.
She got in trouble for telling a guy he should start betting for her, and that was a 3-day suspension, I think.
I don't understand. I mean, the concept. I mean, look, it's free money, right? You put your own money up, but then you won. So everything you won on that is free money for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, I mean, yes, in some games there is some skill, you know, some poker games,
right?
To some varying degrees, blackjack. But at the end of the day, you're either fucking lucky or you're not. So if you're lucky, you should pay the person who helped you with that luck, which is the dealer. And I don't understand why that's such a hard concept.
I don't either. Although, I mean, there's once in a while, there's some people, very few now, but some people think we make a lot of money, like hourly. And when we tell them how much we make hourly, they're like, no, shut up. You do not. I was like, no, really. We're pretty heavily relying on tips.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's basically a service industry, right? It's like your waiting tables.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was fast. I guess I got to go back to work now.
All right.
That's what she said.
All
right, man. Thanks for peppering the show with your amazing appearances. The farm report, well done. That was great. The moth thing still stands though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was I had one lined up, and it got taken down from the site where I found it, and I was really disappointed.
Oh shit!
So,
controversial.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and find that one because it was very interesting. But anyway, it's been a pleasure, guys.
All right, man.
We'll catch you later.
Later, brother.
All right.
What more damage can we do tonight?
We've hammered the communist thing pretty squarely. Minnesota finally started cracking down on fraud. Apparently, Tim Walz is now taking credit for all the fraud crackdowns. He didn't take credit for creating the fraud, but that's okay. Whatever.
What a fucking scab.
So this dropped late last night. Let's experience this.
And he comes from originally a place called Cuba, which we will be taking over almost immediately. No, Cuba's Cuba's got problems. We'll finish one first. I like to finish a job. On the way back from what we'll do, on the way back from Iran, we'll have one of our big, maybe the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, the biggest in the world. We'll have that come in, stop about 100 yards offshore, and they'll say, "Thank you very much. We give up."
He's getting all the one-liners that he couldn't use last week out of the way now.
Yep.
Because he also unloaded on Illhan Omar and her brother again. There is that too. Did you saw this? I didn't realize that this was out there. This is Illhan Omar and being fucking retarded.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
God damn. That was almost my screen name tonight, was World War XI.
World War XI.
But the best part of this, I mean, we already knew she was a moron, so whatever. The best part of this was the internet fucking took off again and just won the day. I mean, all of the 11s stuff was absolutely just off the chain. I had more giggles this week from all the 11 stuff than anything else. It was phenomenal.
I went out and did a little bit of research, and I think it's important to note other famous 11s. Hefe was an 11.
Yeah, that's true. That is, yes. He is
that's
an
our
11.
most famous 11.
Yep.
Isaiah Thomas of the Detroit Pistons, he was an 11. Mark Messier, hockey forward for the New York Rangers,
you bet.
11. Larry Fitzgerald was 11. Apollo 11, that was a pretty big deal.
That was a big one. Yep.
James K. Polk was the 11th president of the United States. 11 from Stranger Things. I think that was kind of pounded into the ground too after.
Of course.
Omar's.
Yep.
So there was been Ocean's 11, 7-Eleven.
Well, yeah. Let's not forget about 7-Eleven. Yeah.
Yeah.
KFC. Don't they have 11 herbs and spices?
11 herbs and spices. Yes. Yes.
So there's as many herbs and spices as there are world wars, and I think that's great. You know what was amazing? There were actually people, liberal people, I use that term loosely, liberal individuals who actually tried to defend this. One guy, he's like, I'm a history teacher at so-and-so university, and actually she's historically correct. And he went off and he named 11 big wars that have happened, not naming anything before, like literally just cherry-picked 11 wars to make World War II be the 11th one. That we can do that. I could have made it 13. I could have made it 2. I could have made it 100. Anything you want to do with that, there have been so many big wars that have happened throughout history. It's ridiculous, but there were so many of those this week, and it's like, dude, just admit she's a fucking retard and she doesn't know how to read a fucking script. She read it as 11 and it was 2, and she's a moron. She doesn't know anything about our country's history, about the world's history. Just admit it and just make fun of her, and then we would all be like, all right, at least there's a Democrat with a brain. But no, you have to go out there and try and defend that. There is no defending it. She's a moron, period. End of sentence.
Speaking of other morons, why wasn't there a No Kings protest at the White House this week when King Charles came?
When an actual king came? He got a standing O.
Yeah.
He got a standing O in the Senate, which I think is outstanding. And again, going back to your Trump's, he was trolling everybody this week. He posted something like, "Hey, look, 2 kings," and it was a picture of him and King Charles. I thought that was great. Well played.
Something else that came up this week, and we'll probably move towards closing up here pretty quick here, but the UAE quit OPEC.
Yes, huge.
They were the third largest member of OPEC. I think it's like 3.5 billion barrels or million barrels a day that they were turning out. And they have a new pipeline that runs through Fallujah and actually beats the whole Strait of Hormuz deal. So you don't have to worry about it. You can go in, pick up your fuel from them, and you can just adios on your way. And no issues.
And they were at 3 million barrels a day. They had the capacity to do 5 million. Yes, because OPEC was limiting them, right? They got to keep the prices high.
It was a cartel.
It's
a cartel.
It was racketeering on a global scale. And the UAE was like, no, we don't. Look, we want to feed our people. We want to get rich. If we can produce almost twice as much oil, we're going to. So fuck off. We're out. Which, good for them. And there was a phone call from Trump or someone in his administration saying, look, if you do this, we got you. We will buy your oil and it will get sold because the world's hurting right now. China's hurting. Russia's hurting. Pretty much all of Polynesia is hurting for oil. We got you. And bam, here we are. This is a huge, monumental shift from the way things have been, since the 70s?
71.
Right? Yeah, okay. Since before we were born, it's been this way. And this was a huge glacial shift in the world. Not just oil markets. You have to understand, the whole economy runs on that. So economic things have just shifted right beneath our feet, and most people have no idea.
Well, it's a shift back to free market, right?
Yes.
I mean that's really what it is, and that's where it should be. You shouldn't have these cartels that are locking down any kind of resources. They shouldn't. If somebody's going to get rich. Okay.
Yep.
The whole world should have access to the resources.
Yeah, if you got something people want. Yep.
Nobody should be just starved for resources. Sell it. Put it on the open market.
Yep. Hey, before we wrap up, we don't need to go through these stories, but if you all go to our the show notes, the science and climate section this week, I don't think it's worth going down any of these alleys tonight. I do think if you're interested, just take a look. Some of those articles and stories are really very interesting, particularly the dreaming one, that dreaming only happens because Earth rotates and we have nighttime.
That was wild.
The other one was the bird songs. I thought both of those were just really just sort of like bringing us back to kind of what it is to be in this human condition, and like why our bodies function the way they do. I mean, why do we need sleep? What are dreams? Yeah, I found that fascinating. I mean, that's just where my head goes.
Let's hold it over for next week so we can spend some more time on it, because that one was absolutely wild. The whole concept is that the only reason you're dreaming is that because your brain is trying to keep the rest of your brain from taking it over.
Yep. The visual cortex.
Yeah.
If you don't keep the visual cortex alive, the rest of the brain will just take it over. And that's been proven by people who go blind later in life. And then the hearing centers, the creative centers, the touch centers, they take over those areas of the prefrontal cortex that take care of vision generally. And so the whole idea was your brain has to keep those visual cortex areas alive. And so you dream in actual, like TV, like vision. Wild story. And again, let's give it its due day in court. Let's talk about more of it next week, because it's kind of deep. And then the bird songs one, basically, if you listen to bird songs, it'll calm. It lowers your heart rate and your blood pressure. It lowers cortisol in your blood. And this is a documented phenomenon. So if you really want a restful sleep, listen to some birds at night or before you go to sleep. Because if birds are singing, that means all is well in the forest and there's no danger coming to get you. And if birds are quiet, or if it's just quiet in the forest, that means something's wrong. And so it's an interesting study. Anyway, I just want to mention those before we close up shop tonight.
Yeah, we didn't get to those. So, well, I've already got the docs for next week, and we'll make sure we get into those, because it is interesting. Also, with Al Gore pivoting to that there's going to be an ice age, and now he's afraid of that. So
this is phenomenal. Yeah, it's great.
So that'll kick off next week.
Yeah.
All right, Fitz, which beer are you taking to bed?
Oh God, this bombastic, fantastic beer. Again, I'm not going sex beer with this, because this is actually somebody that you don't meet her and you're like, oh my gosh, we need to unlawful carnal unlawful carnal knowledge kind of thing. This is I want to get to know you more, and you might be marriage material kind of stuff. So definitely not a sex beer, not on the first date. You want this to continue. You want to get to the third, fourth, fifth date, and then we can talk about the other stuff. But so good, so well done. Like I said, I don't like it when the Mexican hot chocolate beers go too heavy on the chocolate. This one did not. This is like a perfect balance for me. Heavy on the vanilla, heavy on the cinnamon, heavy on the peppers with a little bit of chocolate. That's my fucking jam. So definitely taking the bombastic. Nothing wrong with the Claim 52. Great beer, but it can't hold a candle to this for me. So I think I already know the answer to this, but what about you?
I'm celibate now. So I'm taking either of them to bed. I have absolutely no desire. It's actually completely ruined my appetite for any kind of relationship.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's just a bad idea. I mean, it was very utilitarian tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah.
These were the cargo shorts of beer. They serve a purpose. You can hold a lot of shit. They don't look great, but who cares? That's what these beers were.
Exactly. I should have drank water.
Put some Mio in there or something. Flavor it a little bit.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
All right. Thank you very much for listening, everybody in chat. The Real Sue Shady, L, Fake Susan, Duchess, Amish NASCAR Susan, Moxie, for being here. As always, Hell Hefe, thank you for blessing us with your presence. And the night got much better for you. RazorWireNews.com is the website. Follow us there. That's the Substack where we've got all of our epic goodness. If you guys join the website, $5 a month, you get the chat. You get the weekly chat where you can come into the live with us. And you get all the other content that we post, a lot of the research and things. And it's a really good time. So highly suggest getting in there. That'll wrap it up. I'm Steve McShane.
I'm Fitz.
Think critically.
Act accordingly.
We'll talk to you soon.